It's about 8:30 in the morning here on Thursday, November 14th, 2024. And this is the first move of what is hopefully going to be twice daily moves that we move the cows and the sheep together. When I come out here this morning, all the sheep were on that side. None of them with the cows. I'm going to go chase them towards the cows, and at the same time I'm going to look at the manure and make an evaluation. Yeah, the manure's a little high. That paddy's pretty good. It's not too bad. That one kind of piled up too much. I meant to move them last night in the afternoon yesterday, but things got ahead of me, and I realized I wouldn't be back until like 6 o'clock in the evening, which is nighttime nowadays. So I'm gonna get behind the sheep here and push them forward. Looks like all the sheep have stayed put. None of them broke out, but I would like them to eat the fresh grass. Get there and mingle with the cows. Anyway, yeah, I gave them 4 sections instead of the usual 2 per move. I don't know if that's gonna make a difference because they probably already ate at least part of their breakfast. This poor little ewe here, she has really long hooves. Oh, last night, I started playing around with spreadsheets, and I figured out what I want to do with the cows. So probably between now and the year 2030, I'm going to target about 20 cows, and I'm going to keep replacing the cows. Come on, guys, get down the row. Don't stay here. This is not where you want to be. Come on. Come on. Psst, psst. So what I'm going to do is over the next 2 years sell all my cows that I have right now. There is, I believe, 21 cows. One I'm going to get rid of next year. But I think what I'm going to do is just sell them right before breeding in July. So the schedule is we get calves in April, we breed in July. I think that works out, right? I might be wrong. June, July. I'll have to look at the numbers, pick the exact day. I want the calves to drop on April 15th. If they could all drop at the same time, that would just be fantastic. But you know how cows are, right? So sell half of the cows next year and the other half the year after that, right? No, I'm sorry. Sell half of the cows 2 years from now, I believe. And then the other half the next year. So 2026 and 2027. It takes 2 years for a heifer calf to mature. So what you do is, as part of your regular breeding cycle, you don't take the heifers off at all. You just leave them with the mamas. And when they're 3 months old, that's when the bulls come on. They're too young to breed, right? So 3, 4, 5 months old, they're too young to breed. And then the next year, then you breed them, right? When they're a year and 3 months old, right? Basically. And then they give birth at about 2 years old, which is like kind of the ideal time for a heifer calf to give birth, is 2 years old. So it just kind of works out perfectly, you know. And so what I'm going to do is the calves that are born next year in 2025 April, I'm going to keep pretty much all of the heifer calves. I might get rid of the 1 or 2 worst performing ones. Keep the rest, right? And there should be about 8 to 10 that I keep. And then there we go. They're in the fresh grass now, and the ducks are here too. Wondering what all that noise is. So the next year, that's going to be 2026, right? We're only going to have 10 cows that are going to give birth in April of 2026, and that should give us another 5 heifer calves, right? I'll probably actually keep 20. Yeah, maybe I should keep all 20. The next year we breed, so in 2026 when we breed, we'll be breeding those calves that were born in 2025. And so we'll get calves from them in 2027, 2 years later, right? Okay. And those calves will be 3/4 South Pole, right? Then we do that again next year, and we just keep, once the calves give birth, basically, I sell them, and then use the replacement heifers to give birth 2 years later, right? And so I kind of set up that cycle. And while I'm doing this, I'm planning on keeping all the steer that I can. Maybe get rid of the 1 or 2 worst performing steer. And that will be the cycle. And so in about 2030, I should have like 15/16, at least 7/8 South Pole being born, which I don't know what the legal definition of a purebred is, but that's pretty dang close to purebred. So there we go. The sheep are with the cows in fresh grass. Plenty of room for all of yous, including you, Yami. You just wanted to say hi to me, didn't you? I'm not ignoring you. So anyway, that's kind of the story on the cows. The sheep, the story is a little bit different. I think in 2027 or 2026, I'm going to hit like 200, 300 ewes, right? And once I get to the 200 mark, that's when I start aggressively culling, right? So I'm just going to take the bottom 5%, 10%, and just get rid of them every year. Keep the best of the lambs, get rid of the bottom 5% or the whatever, and sell all the ramblings. I think with 200 ewes, I'm going to need 4 rams. I don't know how many rams I need for that, but I might either keep some of the best rams back, some of the best lineage, or I might just buy a ram, invest a lot of money in good rams. But anyway, that's kind of the story there with the sheep is they're gonna, because the sheep breed every 8 months, and like the cows, the sheep is when the sheep is 16 months old, so 2 8-month breeding cycles, that's a good time for them to give birth, their first lambs, right? And I think there's a problem because when the lambs are 3 months old and 4 months old, they probably won't breed, but there's the potential that they could, right? And so what I need to do is get the either bring the ewes to the rams, the ewes I'm ready to breed, or I take the lambs off, right? All the lambs off. I think that's about the time when the rams are able to breed as well, but I'm going to castrate those guys young, except for the every other year when they're going to be sold, like around the time for the Islamic feasts, right? So anyway, so that should be pretty aggressive. I expect, I think about 20 lambs this November, December, and then I'll put the rams on in March, and then I should get 90 or 100 lambs, maybe even like 120, maybe more than 120, maybe like 150 even, lambs in August, right? And then the next crop, which will happen in April, that's 8 months after August, right? The next crop will include those lambs that were born in winter, right now, So that's when we start seeing, the compounding effect of a breeding program. That's kind of my plan. Obviously, when I get to that many sheep, when I get to hundreds of sheep, processing them by hand like I am is probably not going to work. So I'll probably have to invest at some point in a good mobile pen system or sorting system or something, so that I can quickly sort the lambs from the ewes and do things like that, right? Anyway, that's kind of my plan. I planned it all out last night, and according to exponential growth, within like, 100 years, I'll basically own every sheep and cow in the world. Assuming I can keep getting more land, but obviously there's a limit to how many animals you can raise on the land. But that's the nice thing about animals is they reproduce. If I go out and buy an expensive computer, I don't get a baby computer the next year, right? If I go out and buy a tractor, I don't get a tractor the next year. But pretty much all the animals do reproduce. At least one offspring a year, but with sheep, it could be almost 2. It'll average almost 2 sheep per year. 2 1/4, I think, when we have 2 lambings in a year, and 1.8 when we have 1 lambing. I don't think I'll get the 1.8 number from the beginning, but eventually I'll figure it out. So guys, have a great day. Take care and bye-bye.